How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Tulsa, the Tier 8 Premium American Heavy Cruiser. In this one, I decided to throw on Hoshino on Tulsa, and I'm basically trying to find as many American cruisers as possible that Hoshino will basically make, I don't want to say busted, but make it really, really good. We have been testing it on many ships, even the Vallejo, but we're kind of finding out that a lot of what we're doing with this build does kind of rely on maxing out your epic reload mod if it's not legendary, just to get that additional 10% reload. And then ideally, going throughout the match, you're going to take some damage, and then you're going to get some reload from that second row skill. But what we've learned is HE is kind of important, at least for a cruiser, because the effectiveness of HE spam, doing damage to superstructures, setting battleships on fire, does go an extremely long way. With Tulsa and SAP, you don't really have the same damage potential, just because you're not setting fires, and then as soon as a ship angles, well, your SAP DPM basically goes out the window. And then on top of that, a lot of the ships that are played are German. Just like in this match, there is a Ruprecht. If it's not a Ruprecht, I mean GK, FDG, Pommern, you name it. We even have Preußen campaign now, so there's going to be a lot of Preußens. Having SAP and then trying to shoot something that's heavily armored and your only potential of dealing damage is to the superstructure, yeah, it just makes it that much more difficult. And then having that HE, that even if you shatter on the thickest parts of the ship, you can actually still set fires. So having HE definitely helps maxing out that reload mod and is very, very important. Tulsa, on its own though, a pretty decent ship. We've actually done the calculations for its DPM, and funnily, it actually beats the Salem. Although on paper, beating the Salem, is it the same in practice? Does it actually beat Salem? I would have to disagree and say no. Unfortunately, having 6 guns and cruiser dispersion, basically the same accuracy as the Salem does. Also having twin turrets, having wonky dispersion. Twin turrets generally have the wonkiest dispersion of all of the turrets. Actually, I guess quad turrets would be the wonkiest, but it's followed by the twin turrets, and then 3 guns, and then single guns. But having 6 guns and more DPM, I mean, if we're not actually landing all of our 6 shells, then all of a sudden our DPM actually isn't that effective. Whereas Salem has 9 guns and you're probably still landing more shells, so it's a little more consistent. But then if you are able to get some decent RNG and land most of your shells, then yes, your DPM is going to be better than Salem. But using Hoshino, not having any sort of accuracy skills, unfortunately that's just not going to be the case. Tulsa DD dispersion when PC Tulsa has DD dispersion now, so that would be kind of spicy for our Tulsa. I mean, it definitely would have better DPM than Salem, even in practice. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, we're gonna compare Tulsa to Salem quite a bit here. But Salem, I mean, realistically, aside from having a little more base HP, the only thing that Salem technically has over the Tulsa is the fact that it has super heals. And using Hoshino, obviously you get 5 of them, which is pretty funny. 5 super heals on a Salem, I mean, you're going to basically be able to tank a lot more damage and then play with your HP a lot more in terms of staying at that lower HP for a bigger reload boost. And then I guess once you're actually in danger, you pop a heal, and then all of a sudden you're very healthy, you take some damage, and I mean, your super heal's still ticking, so you're able to sustain fairly well. That's one of the things that Salem can do very well. And I mean, Tulsa, you do still have 5 heals, so it is still fairly survivable. but you're not really able to take a whole lot of direct engagements. Otherwise, you might just end up getting deathstruck. Luckily for us though, Bismarck can't overmatch 27mm of armor, although there is a Delaware all the way in the back still sitting in their spawn that can in fact overmatch our 27, so we do need to kind of worry about that. We're trying to throttle jockey here as much as we can, because the last thing I want to do is get overmatched through bow, Citadel, and killed off while we're doing a pretty decent job against this Bismarck. We switched to AP just because Bismarck was giving a decent amount of side, and I'm kind of assuming he was trying to rush down our DE, and then it was just going to be a lot easier to just shoot AP at a broadside Bismarck. Bismarck eats a torp, goes down, enemy Delaware finally starts pushing in after his whole team on this flank dies. That's one of the things you see quite often in for battleship players. The ones that sit at the back, well, they decide to push in only after their whole team dies, not when they have support. And, well, unfortunately for this Delaware, we have an Edinburgh, and he dropped his airstrike on me over the islands, and now Edinburgh is just going to rush him down that 30mm hull. Well, Delaware is not really going to do anything, and then Edinburgh can just go and YOLO torp the Delaware. But in the meantime, we're just going to sit here and farm him as much as we can. As far as I can tell, we have under 4-second reload already, which is pretty spicy for Tulsa, and I mean any heavy cruiser really. But yeah, trying to get this reload, obviously Salem being basically double nerfed Des Moines, can't really get this reload, but 9 guns again, a little more consistent. Fire chance is also per shell, so effectively you're going to have a higher fire setting rate as well in Salem. But the theory for using Hoshino basically on any American cruiser is there as long as it has HE. Unfortunately, I think San Diego's in the same ballpark or same place as the Vallejo, because it only has SAP and AP, and I mean in even a worse scenario, San Diego has even lower caliber SAP and well, even lower caliber AP. You're not really going to Citadel anything if given the opportunity, so it's yeah, quite unfortunate. At least the Austin, I mean, at some point we'll probably get it, but who knows when that'll be. That thing will have SAP and HE, and Hoshino will then be a fairly interesting choice for that ship, because, well, we're going to have a lot of heals, and we're also going to have fully packed. Delaware got YOLO'd. He did death strike our Edinburgh, which I guess he was smart enough to hold his shots until Edinburgh turned broadside, but he did get torps off, and I think our Vallejo, or not Velo, Velos also landed torps, or at least set him on fire and finished him off. We do have 4 assists. We're 1 away from a Monty medal. Kind of don't want that. I popped my radar to find the Delaware and I guess spot him over the island. But it might have been a waste because there still is an enemy destroyer alive, and at this point, since there's nothing left, we're obviously going to push towards them. And it's also Dalian, so if Dalian ends up smoking up and sits in smoke and we're spotted by the DD, we're kind of just going to get farmed, and that's not really good for Tulsa. But Dalian, still kind of far away as we get around this corner. We do have our sonar, at least, so if there's any torpedoes from Dalian or the DD, we at least have a way to survive, but it would have been very nice to have our radar. Luckily though, our DD is pushing in with me, and we do have fully packed, so as long as we stay within fully packed, we should be okay. I get spotted, and as soon as I do, I decide to pop my sonar, and we should get our radar back before our sonar ends, so we should be able to just keep pushing in, and ideally, we will be able to find them. Dalian, still trying to farm our, I'm pretty sure it's a Roma, or a Veneto, something that's been kiting all the way away. And luckily for us, he's not really paying attention to where we are. We go unspotted, and we're also located, so we know he's in front of the island directly in front of us. Otherwise, if he was further to the right, I feel like our Velos might have actually been spotted. We get a Citadel on the Dalian. He starts angling in. I'm trying to see if he decides to do a full game return, but Velos gets spotted. He has a sliver of HP, and AP overpens are just enough. Velos did launch torps, but we have sonar, and luckily we're not actually going to need to use our radar. And we're just going to dodge these torps and keep pushing towards Dalian. We still have 30 seconds. If Dalian launches torps, we should still be fine. He starts doing a game return, under 4-second reload. Yeah, I mean, even though we don't have the accuracy, the reload is there. So obviously we're gonna still be able to land as many shells as we want. We finish off the Dalian, we avoid the Monty Meadow, and we finish with 158,000 damage, and we actually got a high caliber 2955. We can just round that up to 3k. And yeah, poor Veneto, he was running away from a bunch of smoke and HE spam and DDs. But yeah, Tulsa, I mean Hoshino really is why we're playing all these things. Kind of a goated cruiser commander. I know I basically said the same thing in every single one of our cruiser videos lately, but Hoshino, kind of a hidden gem for cruisers. And we've obviously have been trying similar builds with other ships, since there are quite a few commanders that actually have that reload skill for other nations. So keep an eye out for those as well. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below for the ships you want to see in the future. But anyway guys, till next time, aloha.